What's good, everyone? Anderson Emerald here, and I'm in the hotel, but I have to cover the men's 400 meters. Of course, all these videos are just initial reactions based on my experience in the stadium, my experience speaking with the athletes after the races. So I want to be able to give you just some quick takes. Shout out to everyone, who's been tapping in, but let's dive in. Men's 400. Listen, this was a race for the ages, a race for the ages. Africa is back on top. Buseng Kebenat-Shipi, Colleen Kebenat-Shipi, he has gotten the gold medal, the first ever gold medal for a man in the men's 400 for Botswana, 43.53 seconds. 43.53 seconds. This improves on the 43.61 that he ran in the semifinals to set a national record, to take down Isaac Makwala's national record from all the way back in, I think it was 2015, when Isaac Makwala had run 43.7. So Kebenat-Shipi, and someone, South Africa, or I'm sorry, Botswana, someone correct me, Buseng Colleen Kebenat-Shipi, or is it Colleen Kebenat-Shipi? I think Colleen is maybe his middle name. Someone correct me. But Kebenat-Shipi, able to get the gold medal. He ran this race masterfully. I feel like he really executed, especially in the second half, like coming around the final curve and into the home straight, and really he kicked down that home straight. And we kind of saw like a lot of things going on. But Kebenat-Shipi, he was able to kind of get out of the fray. He was in the middle of the track in lane 5. Ran down to a gold medal. And this moves him to, I'm going to do this off the top of my head as I kind of cross-check this, but this moves him to, I think, number 7 all time when talking about the men's 400 meters. You have, of course, you have Wade Van Niekerk, you have Michael Johnson, you have Butch Reynolds, you have Quincy Hall, you have Matthew Hudson Smith, you have Jeremy Warner, Michael Norman, you have Stephen Gardner, and then you have Quincy Watts, and then you have Kebenat-Shipi. So this is number 10 all time. So he actually didn't improve on his placement from what he did when he ran that 43.61, but number 10 all time for Buseng Kebenat-Shipi. Again, surpassing what Isaac Makwala had done all the way back in 2015 when he ran 43.72. But that is only one part of the story. But I'm going to get to Jereem Richards in 1 second because, we got to talk about Jereem. He cooked. Jereem Richards, silver medal, 43.72. But Kebenat-Shipi was joined by Byapo Ndori, who ran 44.20 seconds. Byapo Ndori has been competing at global championships, I think, since 2021 at the Olympic Games, where you can argue that after Isaac Makwala, Byapo Ndori has been kind of the next catalyst in a sense, right? The next kind of stalwart who's been, carrying Botswana athletics in the 400 specifically for the guys and the generation of talent that we see today. And so for him to run 44.20 after many years where he either wasn't able to make a final or he wasn't able to get a medal, he ran very fast early on, but now he was able to actually execute. Huge performance for Byapo Ndori, and just kind of, I don't know, it's a validation of the work that he's been able to put in by being, this kind of leader in a sense for this generation of young Botswanan athletes, young Botswanan athletes, right? Let me make sure I get the name correct. Byapo is 26 years old, whereas you have guys like Buseng, right? Buseng Kebenat-Shipi, he's only 21. Letsile Teboho, I think he's only, 22, 23, I think he's turning this year. So all these athletes are very, very young and are still on the rise, whereas Byapo Ndori has kind of been that, rising talent, but that leader of these guys. Shout out to Kebenat-Shipi, shout out to Ndori. Kebenat-Shipi said that Isaac Makwala is one of his mentors, and, he really looks up to him, and he speaks to him very frequently. He gives him advice, along with, Kebenat-Shipi, his coach, gives him advice. But, and I'm going to be completely honest, I actually was a little hesitant. I don't even think I had Kebenat-Shipi or Ndori in the final because they haven't had great seasons. Byapo Ndori, he ran very well at the Zurich Diamond League, but in between, what happened early season with the Chinese Diamond Leagues and then the Zurich Diamond League, in between then, he hadn't looked great. Kebenat-Shipi has been so up and down. So it was hard for me to, and let's be honest, no one predicted this. Maybe him and his coach, but we have to be honest, no one predicted Kebenat-Shipi to not only win gold, but to run 43.53. No one did. We just got to be completely honest about what our expectations were, but I am more than glad to see Kebenat-Shipi get on the podium in this way, as well as Byapo Ndori. Now, let's talk about my man Jereem Richards. I'm going to be honest, Jereem Richards was a personal favorite of mine to get on the podium. If you check out my prediction video, I didn't put him on the podium. I think I had him in 4th place, but I said if I was to make a personal choice, I would want Jereem Richards. But so I don't care if my predictions are wrong. I'm more than glad for to be wrong, because Jereem Richards got on the podium 43.72 seconds, and he ran this from lane 2. Lane 2. This is by far the fastest time ever run in lane 2 in the men's 400. 43.72 seconds. If you remember, in 2024, Jereem Richards got 4th place in the 400. He literally missed the podium in the 400, and he ran 43.78. Now he got lane 2 in the final, only qualified on time, and he was the only guy from the 2024 Olympic Games to the Olympic final to actually make it into this final. Remember, Quincy Hall injured, Matthew Edson Smith didn't qualify. Who else? Muzala Samakonga didn't qualify. Michael Norman, he's been injured. Chris Bailey, he didn't qualify, right? Muzala Samakonga, like I said, he didn't qualify. Karani James, he didn't qualify. So Samuel Ghazi, he didn't qualify. Jereem Richards was the only guy. And not only does he get on the podium, not only does he run a personal best, this is his first global medal since 2000, individually, since 2017. Individually outdoors, right? He has a world indoor silver medal from 2022 indoors. But 2017, Jereem Richards got the bronze medal in the 200. You remember that. That was behind Ramil Guliev as well as Wade Van Niekerk. So, and that was him. I think he was at the University of Alabama in the winter and the spring that year. So for him to get a bronze medal then and not see the podium in what we're talking about 8 years at this point, almost a decade since he has been on the podium individually at the World Championships or the Olympic Games. And Jereem Richards for Trinidad and Tobago gets on the podium in a massive, massive national record. Shout out to oh my gosh, what am I thinking of? Shout out to his coach. I don't know why my brain is just not working. But shout out to his coach. He was in the mix zone, and he was like, yo, he was so elated for Jereem. He was just so elated for Jereem. I'm sorry, Lance Brahman. Why? I'm sorry, Lance. My bad. I was chatting with Lance. As Jereem was kind of about to come down, and he was just so elated. He was so excited for Jereem. The fact that he ran that from lane 2, and let's be clear. If Jereem Richards was in lane 5, he probably would have run 43.6 or 5. That's what Lance was saying that Jereem probably would have run. He would have run, 43.5 or so, and I think very possible. Now, obviously, it's a hypothetical, but I'm just so happy for Jereem. Obviously, you can tell because Jereem has been working, Jereem has been fighting, he has been putting in so much work. So shout out to Kevin Anshipi, to Jereem Richards, to Bapu Ndori, Africa holding down the podium, Botswana on the podium for the first time on the men's side in the 400. Amazing performance. Now, looking at how the race unfolded, on the home straight, you had Rasheed McDonald. He was in the conversation for a medal. I actually thought for a second he was going to get a medal. You had Zakiti Nene. He went out very strong, but he wasn't able. He kind of faded in that second half and wasn't able to, hold on for a medal. Nakajima, he was on the outside for Japan. The crowd was going crazy for him. Ja'carri Patterson was moving up down the back straight and around the curve going into the home straight, but he faded as well. This race was crazy, and it was really Bapu Ndori who kind of pushed through, as well as Jereem Richards who kind of pushed through in the home straight to make sure that they can win those medals. This was a race for the ages. 2 guys went under the 44-second barrier, and I know last year we were spoiled because we had what was it? How many guys? We had 4 guys. I'm sorry, we had 5 guys. Am I right? 5 guys went under the 44-second barrier at the Paris Olympic Games, which was absolutely bonkers, absolutely insane to see. Now we had 2 guys actually go under the barrier, but then you had Bapu Ndori running 44.2. So I don't know. This was an amazing race, definitely one for the ages, and definitely one that stacks up historically because we saw Kevin Achipi and Ndori get on the podium for Botswana, and then also Jereem Richards get on the podium for Trinidad and Tobago, which someone could fact check me, I don't think has occurred at the World Championships in the 400, but at the Olympic Games in 1976 or 72, I think, is when you did Trinidad and Tobago in the 400 did have an Olympic medalist be able to get on the podium. So I don't know, but amazing performances across the board. I am excited to see how this 4x4 unfolds because Botswana, they the favorites. And if y'all remember, there was a point, even I forget when it was, but there was a point when Letsila was asked about the 4x4. This might have been before the Zurich Diamond League. And he kind of said that, like, yes, of course he'll maybe be part of the 4x4, but he may not even be needed for the 4x4. And this is kind of what he's been hinting at, where Botswana is like stacking up guys. So I don't know, but just initial reaction. Of course, in the coming weeks, I'm gonna have more like in-depth analysis because these races were crazy. Check out the Citius Mag podcast. We kind of broke down everything about Sydney. With the 400, we broke down, you know, everything that went on for the day. But let me know what you think. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Truly do appreciate all of y'all. Thanks for watching.